This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed. Alan Jones's arrest was a very big news story this week.
Yeah, it sure was. So just to step it back a little bit, Alan Jones is 83 years old. He's been very much a public figure in Australia, really probably since the 80s when he started his career on radio. That career, of course, went for about 40 years and he was really at the top of broadcasting in Australia, not just in Sydney, which was his local market. Before that, he was a teacher. He attempted to enter politics a number of times. Kate, I thought it was just the once, but you've informed me.
It was, definitely
quite a few tilts, which, there you go. He, of course, was the coach of the Australian rugby team as well, the Wallabies. Into radio very successfully. What Alan Jones has been charged with this week, though, is 26 offences of historical incidences of indecent assault and also sexual touching.
Yeah, 9 people have now come forward as we're recording this, a number that has grown across the week, which is why I give that caveat. The offences are alleged to have occurred between 2001 and 2019 mostly. This one came out of an investigation by Nine journalist Kate McClymont. It was her work that said Jones allegedly indecently assaulted, groped or inappropriately touched multiple young men, and then that initiated the police investigation into Alan Jones.
Yeah, and it's been interesting watching Kate this week, actually. She's done a number of interviews saying that her investigation, which spanned 6 decades, she was quite surprised that police were actually able to move on a range of those allegations from a 20-year period. She was quite encouraged that that had actually happened, given the investigation that she had done and the people who she had spoken to. So for Alan Jones's part, he's out on bail now. The arrest was very public, lots of pictures. It really dominated the news that day. He denies all of the allegations. It's been fascinating to see, though, who has lined up for Alan Jones and is starting to back away from Alan Jones because, of course, he's a guy who has moved in very powerful circles.
You can't sort of overstate that. Like, when it comes to power and influence in Australia, he has been in the middle of that for such a long time. Andrew Bolt actually said on his show on Sky News this week, and I thought this quote was sound, "This could be one of the greatest falls from grace we've seen in this country, and if so, we're going to be asking ourselves how people bent to power and ask who else knew about what Jones allegedly did."
Yeah, that's quite a moment because, of course, Andrew Bolt was moving in those circles very much with Alan Jones. So that was notable this week. James Packer, another very close person to Alan Jones, he said that he has the right to the presumption of innocence. Ray Hadley, though, who was his colleague from 2GB for many, many years, has previously said that his relationship with Jones had soured, so there wasn't a lot coming from him this week. He'd outlined that there was a 2GB employee that had told him that Jones had behaved inappropriately.
Yeah, then there's others like Peter Credlin, former Chief of Staff to Tony Abbott, former Prime Minister. She hosted a show on Sky News alongside Alan Jones. She said the charges laid against her longtime friend are entirely out of character with the man I've known. But the thing is, Claire, mostly people haven't said much.
Not a lot. I guess it's a case of let's see what the courts do and let the court do their thing.
Yeah.
On that, he's going to appear on the 18th of December.